Thank you, Emma. A lot of familiar faces in the room, but for those of you who don't know, I am the high school Spanish teacher. Hello, everyone. Such a pleasure to have the opportunity to be here today. This is my 4th year teaching at Oak Grove, and teaching is actually my second career. Before this, I was the business manager for a recruiting firm in New York City, and then before that, the director of finance and administration for a training organization in Chicago. By now, you're very familiar with our theme this morning, and I'd like to quickly share with you how what we value and practice here at Oak Grove had a profound impact on my own journey in life and my career choice. So if you will, please rewind with me about 6 years. Back in 2008, I was still living and working in New York City. During the economic downturn of that year, my salary was ultimately cut by a full 40%. Faced with that cut, I paused, and as our ruler Merity just said, and just phrased it, I created the space to intentionally explore who I was, what I enjoyed, and what I was personally getting out of my career at the time. In doing so, I cast aside assumptions of what I thought I should be doing based on my major in college, where I was living, what was practical, what seemed financially prudent, and my career path up until that point. I asked some very thought-provoking questions, and I created the personal space to be open to any answer and any possibility. It was through this process that I finally understood where I wanted to be, and when I was finally inspired to create the life I feel I was more meant to live. Since I already had an MA in Spanish, I decided to go back to my roots, so to speak, and pursue my original passion, the Spanish language. I began to substitute teach regularly for a private school in Manhattan and immediately felt a profound sense of belonging, an incredible inspiration from the students, and an affinity with the teachers that I'd never quite felt with the majority of my prior colleagues. In short, I was hooked. Within a matter of months, I made the very frightening decision to quit my job, in reality to quit my career, sell my apartment in New York, move across the country to a warmer climate, and to begin teaching Spanish at the high school level. I wish I could stand here today and say that out of all the private schools in Southern California, I had my heart set on Oak Grove and only Oak Grove. But the reality is that through my job search, this school chose me. I can, however, emphatically say that after just even my first day here, it became crystal clear that Oak Grove was a very special and unique place. So about 6 months after my move, I became part of this Oak Grove community, and now I find myself at a school that has that exact process that I went through as one of its most fundamental guiding principles. Part of Krishnamurti's vision for education was this sense of discovering who you are and what you want to do with your life consciously through inward exploration and self-discovery. Oak Grove is a very special place for many reasons, but what really shines through is exactly that, how we encourage our students to explore and how we allow them the space to discover who they are and how they work best. With this type of school, our students' journey to self-discovery may not take the nearly 40 years that it took me. In short, it was that more meditative mind and that creating of space which led me to my own answers, and this morning, we have the opportunity to honor that concept, and we're hoping that doing so will inspire you to give, and through that giving, keep those opportunities available for our current students and for all of those who attend Oak Grove in the future. Today, I am here to ask for your financial support. You probably came today because you're already connected with our school as a parent, grandparent, or friend. But today we have shared perhaps a different aspect of the Oak Grove story. You've also heard from some of our wonderful students, alumni, and staff. It is my privilege to ask you to make a financial commitment in the ongoing revolutionary approach to education that Oak Grove offers and continues to deepen. This morning, we need to raise $135,000. This is not just an investment in the school, but in a larger sense, through our young graduates, it's an investment in the possibility of transforming our world. What we're asking you for today is what we need most: financial support for our day-to-day operations. Our number one goal today is to have every guest in this room commit to making a donation. You can make a one-time donation of $100, $500, $10,000, or even more. You may also sign up to give on a monthly recurring basis. For example, many staff members here, including me, give on a monthly basis through payroll deductions. Even just $50 a month makes a profound difference for our small school. This is our 10th annual Tea Fundraiser, and one of the incredible developments has been the growing support from this multi-year giving society. This group pledges a minimum of $1,000 a year for 5 years, and we call them the Extraordinary Circle of Friends, because this bedrock level of support truly nourishes the extraordinary lives of our children. There are currently 97 individual members, or 59 households, of this core group, and you can imagine the potential for Oak Grove if more people make this commitment today. It is my goal today to increase that group with 11 new members, 8 of which commit to giving $1,000 a year for the next 5 years, 2 of which commit to giving $5,000 a year for the next 5 years, and 1 new member that commits to giving at the $10,000 level for each of the 5 years. Before we get started, I want to stress again that it is our goal that every person here commit to making a donation today. No amount is too small. If you can only give a little, please consider making a monthly recurring gift, which quickly grows to a very significant amount. Some of you may have already made your giving plan with Jody, and that also counts towards today. At this time, I'd like to ask the table hosts to please distribute the pledge cards. To the existing members of the Extraordinary Circle of Friends, Okay. To the existing members of the Extraordinary Circle of Friends who have pledged your support for 5 years, we are grateful for the strength you are bringing to Oak Grove. I'd like to ask that you consider paying off your 5-year pledge early and/or increasing the amount of your pledge. As I go through the levels of giving of our ECF, please note that there is a special section highlighted in gray for this group. As you know, the donations given today go to support Oak Grove's general fund. On the front of the pledge card, and starting at the top, the giving levels of the Extraordinary Circle of Friends are in some ways symbolic, a sort of snapshot of what that general support means in terms of the teachers and students. For example, the first giving level in the ECF is a pledge of $1,000 each year. $1,000 supports the individual teacher-student relationship that's so unique at Oak Grove, nourishing young people like our musician Sophia or our MC Emma. So if you will, consider giving a gift at this level, which is an average of just $83 a month, or think of it as a morning trip to Coffee Connection. Your 5-year gift will be a vital support for both teachers and students. If you would consider giving a gift of $5,000 each year for 5 years, your financial impact can be translated into major campus improvements like the numerous improvements you see all around you. The landscaping, this drop-down screen, air conditioning and heating units, new countertops and sinks in the bathrooms, etc. And trust me, the wish list we teachers have goes on and on. Moving down to the next box on your card, some of you may be in a position to give more, or may be part of a company with a matching gift program. Your investment of $10,000 a year for 5 years will have a major impact on Oak Grove, providing the resources to support our wonderful teachers and allowing them to carry an entire classroom forward for 5 years in a stable, expanding, and deeply meaningful educational environment. So the Extraordinary Circle of Friends is at the core of our financial sustainability. We're so grateful to all of you making this 5-year commitment, for making such a difference. Although I started by introducing the ECF multiple year giving, we know and respect that we all have different financial priorities, and so we provide the next fill-in-the-blank line. On that line, please tell us how much you would like to give and for how many years. You may also choose to give a one-time gift of any amount. Again, I also want to encourage those of you who can make a recurring monthly gift. These gifts add up to incredibly meaningful support. Whatever gift you've decided to make, we thank you for connecting to the spirit of giving and for joining our other generous donors in creating this vital support for the school. Whatever you give will move us closer to our goal of $135,000 this morning. If you can, we ask that you make your first payment today. Whatever gift you have chosen to make, whether you have become a member of our Extraordinary Circle of Friends, made a one-time gift, or if you have committed to a monthly gift, I sincerely thank each and every one of you. We're lucky you could be with us today, and we value all the different ways you support the school. I'll give you some time now to finish filling out your cards. When you are finished, please pass your envelopes back to your table host.